In a beautiful and bustling city lived a lady called Abigail. Abigail was a very beautiful lady. She was not only beautiful but very intelligent. No wonder she graduated with honors from her university. After graduation, she was able to secure a very good job in a reputable firm. Abigail was the one you could call a successful lady. Abigail was the only child of her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Adewale. They loved her and gave her the best any parents could give their child. Abigail was a very sweet soul. She was loved by everyone around her. She was always happy and very kind. But there was a problem. Any man she gets into relationships with ends up being broke. No matter how wealthy these men were, they always end up being very broke as a church rat. At first, Abigail did not pay attention to these details. She was not worried. But as the situation grew worse, she became very worried. She decided to pay her parents a visit. Abigail went to visit her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Adewale. They were happy to receive her. They served her a meal and told her to relax until the next day. The next day, Abigail confided in her parents on what she has been going through. Her mom was very sad that she went to the corner of the room and started crying. Her parents decided to tell her her story. Many years ago, her father said, "Before you were born, I met your beautiful mother, and few months later, we got married. We waited for 7 years with that child. Your grandmother has started making life unbearable for your mom, putting all the blame on her. It was not a nice event. Your mom was always sad and always crying. So we decided to seek solution here and there, but all was fruitless. Until one day, a friend of your mother suggested we go to a village shrine. She said many had conceived as soon as they got there. Because we were very desperate, we decided to give it a try. We got to the shrine and the priest told us that we will be able to have a daughter on the condition that the child will be brought back when she was 20 years to serve the deity as a wife. Because we were desperate, we foolishly agreed. That must be the reason for the setback in all your relationship. We honestly thought we could have our way, Abigail. We are very, very sorry. Our parents were sad. Abigail later left for her house, for they all agreed to go back to the shrine for solution. Abigail had to take some days off from work as a leave in preparation of her journey to Ija village. Ija village was known for their rituals and dark forces. The villagers there practiced witchcraft. As soon as Abigail and her parents got to the village, they were afraid. But even as they walked through the pathway, they became very scared. They got to the shrine and waited patiently for the chief priest. The chief priest remembered Abigail's parents, but said there was nothing he could do. Abigail had to serve the deity as a wife. Abigail even knelt down openly begging for solution, but it was fruitless. She was sad and angry. I would rather than to be the wife of a dirty deity, she said to herself. Abigail's parents were sad, helpless. Abigail suggested they go back home immediately. Her parents were sad and they almost cried. They all agreed and went back home. When they got home, Abigail sat her parents down and told them she will forget anything called relationship or marriage and focus on achieving her dreams and happiness and also taking care of them and helping humanity. She could adopt a child in the future if she wanted one. Her parents were sad, but they consoled themselves and smiled for a better day ahead. In another part of the city lived a young wealthy man named Uche. He was a fine man doing well from himself. He was a good man but also known as a notorious womanizer. He loved everything under skirt, both thin, slim, and different shades. His friends also told him that one day he was going to meet with a spirit. He will always laugh and wave it off. Uche was the CEO of a big advertising company in the city. He was good and exceptional in his field. No wonder he could afford his lifestyle. Meanwhile, Abigail got a positive response from the proposal she sent to partner with Uche Advertising Company for a project. She was to resume the following week and she was very excited. It was like a dream come true. She has been praying for this opportunity. The next week, she got to the company and was given an office. She enjoyed her day until the next day when she met Uche in his office. They had a great conversation and she could not stop thinking about him. Anyway, she was not even interested in men, so she waved the thought off. Uche, on the other hand, was just smiling and laughing after Abigail left. This is my kind of woman, he said to himself. I don't care if she work for me, I must have her. That night, he could not still take his mind off her. The next day, he told his friends about Abigail. As usual, his friend laughed. Uche, calm down, oh, leave woman and marry you. One of his friends told him. Uche laughed. Marry, call, marry me. I'm not ready for that commitment now. I've not even started enjoying my life. He wants to use marriage to hold me down. He said to his friends. His friends laughed and they laughed over everything. Soon, Uche and Abigail began to get closer. They started hanging out together. One thing about Uche was his sweet tongue. He knew how to hold conversations well, and with time, Abigail started to enjoy his company. Uche did not stop there, he started sending Abigail gifts and flour. Though Abigail did not want him to get the wrong signal, but she was happy. Uche would not stop. He must achieve his aim, so he became more sweeter and nicer to Abigail. Abigail was already in love with Uche, but she loved him too much that she was not willing to allow him pass through what other men have passed through. So she kept on rejecting Uche advances. One day, Abigail took him out for lunch. She explained everything to Uche and the reason they can't be together. She told him that she loves him too much and was not willing to risk his happiness. After Uche heard her story, he began to laugh. He said quietly to himself, so this girl wants to mess with my brain, Abi. What kind of trick is this? He did not believe Abigail one bit. Rather, he told her he too came from a strong lineage of priests, that those things cannot work on him. Abigail tried to convince him, but she could not succeed, so she left with a mixed feeling. Uche went to his friends and narrated the situation to them. One of his friends asked if he was not going to take what Abigail said seriously. He laughed and said, Deity called Deity, somebody I'm having very soon. The next day, he went on his knees, begging Abigail to accept him. He promised her that nothing will happen. Abigail felt a bit relieved and accepted his plea, so they started dating. And few months, everything was moving very smoothly. Meanwhile, dating Abigail did not stop Uche from sleeping with other ladies. Suddenly, things began to go bad for Uche company. They started having court cases. They started losing contracts, and so many other terrible things were happening. His business was failing. Uche was always sad and very worried. He kept on thinking about it. His friend reminded him of what Abigail had told him before, but he waved it away. Abigail also became very worried. The problem could be because of me, she told Uche one day. But Uche waved her word off. He kept telling his friends that he was not yet ready to leave Abigail. His friends were even angry and left him alone. So he began to have nightmare. He could not sleep at night. He was seeing strange creatures going after him. Now Uche was very scared. He called Abigail and narrated his situation to her. Abigail said that must be the Deity. Please, Uche, let's separate before things get out of hand. Uche had no choice but to agree. He was scared already. By this time, his company had already been suspended. It was from one problem to another. Despite they've separated, he kept on seeing strange creature. He could not sleep during the night. He was already losing his mind. Uche decided to call his mom, Miss Kachi. He called Miss Kachi. The mom was known to be a very vibrant Christian. Oftentimes, she had had revelation about her son, and whenever she called him, Uche always said he was fine. Uche went to see his mom. His mom welcomed and hugged him, served him, and asked him to rest until the next day. For some reason, Uche slept very soundly that night in his mom's place. The next morning, he woke up and narrated everything to his mom. His mom was very disappointed. She told him it is only God that can save you. At this point, he knew it was only God. Uche and his mom went the next day to the church to meet his pastor. As the pastor was praying, he told Uche to be thankful for his mom because if not for the prayer of his mom, he would not have survived. Uche was already sober by this time. He prayed with his mom. Then after that, he was told to fast and continue his prayer. Uche became very serious with his prayer. He started praying every day, and every night when he sleeps, he slept very soundly. Uche did not take his prayer life as a joke. He was always studying the word of God and praying. Even his friends were surprised to hear from him. He was a changed person. For some reason, he started missing Abike. It was then he realized he loved her. One day, as he got to church as usual, the pastor said he wanted to speak to Abike. He asked him about Abike and he explained everything concerning and about Abike. So Uche had to call Abike and the pastor spoke to her. He wanted her to come to the church with her family. And the next week, Abike came with her parents to the church. They met with the pastor. Then the pastor sat them down and started to talk. I know you all may be wondering why I called all of you here, the pastor said. As I was praying for Brother Uche, the Spirit of God opened my eyes to some mystery. To Mr. and Mrs. Adewale, he said, why do you allow the devil to deceive you for so long? Abigail's parents were confused. They did not understand. The pastor continued, during the time you went to seek for a child in the shrine, your wife was already pregnant. Mr. and Mrs. Adewale looked shocked. How come, they asked? That your friend belonged to a witch coven. She already knew you were carrying and pregnant with greatness. So she deceived and collided with the chief priest so that your precious daughter can be in bondage. She's a perfect gift of God, and the enemy blocked your eyes from seeing the truth. Hence, they have been manipulating your daughter's life, but all will come to an end today. By this time, Abigail was already crying. She thought she would stay single for life. Was this how God works? She said. The pastor began to pray for her. She gave her life to God and repented from all her sins. After prayer, Uche and Abigail hugged themselves. Uche apologized to Abigail for the lies and cheating, but Abigail was happy and grateful that she met Uche. Uche also hugged the other pastors and also his mom. They were all in a sober mood and they later went home rejoicing. Even Mr. and Mrs. Adewale, they were so happy. Few months later, Uche was back on his feet. He did not stop taking his prayer life serious. He proposed to Abike and she accepted his proposal. They were very happy and soon they got married. They were very successful in everything they did and Abike became very pregnant. Few months later, she gave birth to a bouncy baby boy and a girl. Everyone was happy. Uche was very happy. The parents were rejoicing. Now, he has found God and was living a fulfilled life. Thanks for watching.